Warning! This video features interviews from several of the subjects of this video. This is going to be a little bit of a two-part special I'm making about the Minecraft server I used to own / administrate personally. A little bit of in-jokes will be here and extensive Minecraft lore for us to unpack. I hope you enjoy this experimental content that was requested by Mr. Zuper. Please now enjoy. Hello, Caloosers. It's your boy, Magoose Galoose, at it again for another epic video. Today, the content's a little different. It was requested by Zuper, former Wasteslam moderator, my Minecraft server, or maybe former server, kind of depending on how you look at it, considering it's down, and I don't really have a plan to put it back up because it's such a bitch to do. But this server has had a long and storied history throughout the almost decade it was up and down. What I mean to say is there was a lot of people who worked on it as staff members. They all have a story to them, kind of, depending on who they are. And I was requested to rank them in a tier list. So that's what this is. We're going to rank people I know potentially in real life or on the internet, and see how they were as Minecraft admins in the epic server known as Wasteland. Note, do not consider their tier ranking as, my actual feelings on the person. Nothing personnel, it's all about Minecraft, baby. Anyway, as the epic Warhammer 40k Lore Master Major Kill would say, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to use a random number generator on my browser to see who we're going to talk about first. As each image corresponds to a person, I'll know who they are based on the image with my my memory. Hopefully, we'll see. Anyway, so we're going to do a number first, 1 through 38, and we're going to rank this person. 10. Alright, let's find out who number 10 is, the first. And that would be Ghost of 208. Ghost of 208, as a Minecraft admin, wasn't very interested in running the server or really building anything. Now, in this tier ranking, I want it to be clear, S is like you did a really good job. You're probably an icon on the server. A is you've done a lot of good shit. You're not S tier, but you're really, really good. B is for Wasteslam, very good too. I wouldn't say very good, it's good. Like, you've done a lot of good stuff for the server. Like, maybe, you held back a little bit, or like you mostly fucked around, but you're still like, you contributed something. C is you passed, you got the degree. You maybe contributed very little, or you just fucked around most of the time, but you didn't hurt anything. Then D is you actually damaged the server in some capacity, overall. Now, I know it's sort of a low bar to clear, considering most of these tiers aren't like that punishing, but we'll see how that shakes out. Anyway, back to Ghost of 208. He's a C tier admin through and through. What he did is he terraformed a massive cubic crater several times to make it his own little home, and he did nothing else. I had to make sure it was protected several times. I think at one point maybe he wanted to help with something, but he never did it. So that's where Ghost of 208 shakes out. I know him in real life, and that's how he got to be admin. That's just how nepotism works, baby. Now we're going to do numbers 1 through 37 to figure out who the next administrator or staff member would be. And that's 14 on the current listing. Let's go to 14. 7. That's JC Dent. JC Dent was actually an original Wasteslam OG on the 2013 Wasteslam server. He's been around a while. He wasn't an admin or anything then. On the Wasteland Revival in 2019 we did, he became an admin. He didn't really do all that much other than make a military base, but he did try. He'd be a high C or a low B. We'll give him the low B. We'll give him a low B. He did try to set up some stuff. He was interested in doing more for the server, but he didn't really do too much at the end of the day. That's his lore. Next person, 1 through 36. Well, 36 now. 10 again. It favors a 10. So 5 and 5. This is Daredevil. Here is numbers. He was a guy I knew on Xbox Live. I still talk to him sometimes today. I mean, I've talked to Ghost208 a lot today. He's a guy I know in real life. But Daredevil I met on Xbox Live. He's Canadian. He actually actively hindered the server as an admin, I hate to say. He blew a massive crater through New York, the original New York City, and we had to revert a ton of damage, and we lost hours of work. And it probably demotivated a bunch of other people to actually continue working on the server. So he's a D tier admin. Sorry, Shanus. Moving forward, we got person 13 on this list. So let's count it out. 6, 9, 12, 13. And that is Jedi Master MNL. I know this guy again in real life. Most of these people I do. There's a few exceptions. I'd say like 33% I don't. He was actually a pretty good admin. I would give him a high B. I don't know if he gets the low A, but he's definitely a high B. He did. He made like, I don't know. He did autism out like part of a city, so that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna give him a low B because like he kind of lost interest and dropped off. But not low B, high B. High B for Jedi Master MNL. He did some good stuff. I don't know if he did all that much more, but what I'd say high B. He passed. He more than passed. He got the degree, and that's Furthermore, number 17. We're going up. Let's see, 5, 10, 12, 14. 6, oh, that's me, James B2. I'd give myself a B tier. Okay, I'm not gonna rate myself. I got lazy at times. I don't build that much. I just did stuff with like plugins. I was kind of rude to some players. I did advertise and stuff. Obviously I tried to grow my own server, but I could have done better. So I'll give myself a B to not over jerk myself off essentially. And then that brings us to 34. 34 people. Holy shit. And that's going to 28. Oh my god. So starting, this is 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. 28 is the King 2703. Another guy I knew in real life in the Wasteslam 2013 server. He was my friend William. He went to a different high school because he was Catholic, and I went to public school because I'm a mutt. And he went off and tried to build something in Boston and never came back on the server ever again after that. And I lost contact with him. Sorry, William, you're a C tier admin, but you didn't actively harm anything. I think you built a lighthouse at one point, maybe. Further along, let's see who we get now. 29. This number generator is not so random, but that's okay. Tingles. Tingles is actually a pretty active admin in Wasteslam 1. He built a ton of stuff there, and even in the later Wasteland when he wasn't really doing too much, he did build the cool spawn, like, superstructure thing. In the Wasteslam, like, Globe Edition, he did hunt down players, and it was really funny when he killed them. Normally I'm not going to reward admins for harassing players all the time, but when he did it, it was funny, and it worked out. So I'd put him as an A tier admin, absolutely. Moving along. Number 3. This is Milk Baby, or I forget what his Minecraft username is. This is another guy I know in real life. He just kind of fucked around. He didn't build too much. So he's a C tier. Again, when you fuck around, you just kind of, you're the stock standard. You pass. 19. 19, let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's probably 19. Is Sack Power Payok. This guy, I'm not sure was ever an admin, but he did write the entire original Wasteland wiki, so that makes him a staff member in my book. I would put him as a B tier for doing actual work, at least. Like a mid B tier. Moving along, we got number 26, and that would be Thuggy Ik. She was the girlfriend of Ovarb, and they just fucked around mostly, so I'd put her as a C tier. They just made an island and never came back to it. That's really standard Wasteland admin stuff, to be honest. 16, 4, 8, 12. The mini boss man, easy A tier admin. He's built a ton of stuff. I wouldn't say he's an icon, at least in terms of, like, I don't know if a ton of the server have interacted with him, but he's done a lot of good stuff for it. He's stuck with Wasteland through most of the versions of Wasteland. Good guy. Definitely an A tier admin. moving right along. We have number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. And that would actually correspond to Leroy Jenkins, the original. Leroy Jenkins was an original player on Wasteland 2013. I didn't know him in real life. He was friends more with, e-friends more with Cyanide 7, who we'll get to, obviously, and that whole crowd of people. I think I later gave him admin on the newer Wasteslam, but he never did anything with it, and he never really came back on much, so he's a C tier. That's standard Wasteland stuff, to be honest with you, in terms of being an admin, is just to do fuck all with it. Number 6, moving right along, is Captain Sick Nasty. He played mostly on the original. He didn't do much. He just fucked around. Standard Wasteland admin, can't really lie. C tier, absolutely. Number 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is Leroy Jenkins again, or Asuze, depending on if you read them on Discord. Another person I know in real life. I know a lot of these people in real life, but just thought I'd mention it in this case. Asuze I can't put as a B C tier because he did do actual stuff. He built a Hentai Haven sign in New York, and that's pretty based if you ask me. So that's B tier, maybe low B, but I think he did some other stuff, so that's good. I will put him as a B tier admin. Next is 5, and this is I believe there's 2 Canadian related names. I'm just gonna say this is Canada A8. He also is a C tier admin. I get fucked. He's my roommate too. And that's really it. I think you fucked around mostly with Captain Sig Nasty. And that brings us down to 24 admins. We're speedrunning this shit. And that brings us to X-Poo-Miner 5. I don't think X-Poo-Miner 5, he did build some stuff. He also bullied a bunch of random people a lot of the time. That's also pretty much standard Wasteland admin stuff. Thinking about it, I'd say he's a B tier. He was friends with Daredevil and Mr. Canadian and the rest of us. He was a guy I didn't really know in real life, but I met on the internet. So, moving right along, he was a pretty, okay admin. Number 3 is Bobbit Frogget. Bobbit Frogget, good guy. Don't know him in real life. He actually earned his moderator status. He did build, I didn't really give him a chance to do too much. I know he built some stuff, so he would be like a high B or a low A. I would give him B tier. Bobbit Frogget's a cool guy. I'd say if he was on Wasteland now more, I don't know. I didn't really give him the best chances, but he was a good guy. B tier admin for sure. Solid B tier. Number 2 is Air Support 11. Air Support 11 was on the original 2013 Wasteslam with the Cyanide 7, Leroy Jenkins, Kate Cole group, who we'll talk about. He did join the 2019 revival for like a second. He built the entire city of Chicago and never came back on. And for building the entire city of Chicago, I give him B tier. Absolutely. Interview time. All right, Daniel. Welcome. This is also Daniel, for those in the audience. He is our local hedge wizard that I found on the market corner to give his insight on Wasteland. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, without further ado, without beating around the bush, Mr. Danny, not Danny James from the server, I've got some questions for you about the Wasteland staff, since you're a local expert. First of all, what'd you think of Daredevil as an admin on the original Wasteland 2013?
Well, I would say my opinion varies. If we're going 2013, I think he was a little risky back then. He made a lot of decisions that made a lot of people not happy. But I think once we got into the later years, he mellowed out a little bit more, and I approve of him much more.
I'd say it's pretty true. Now, question for you. What do you think of the dynamic between Air Support 11 and Cyanide 7, otherwise known as our shared friend, Jack M?
Honestly, the relationship was a little toxic for a little bit. There was a lot of aggression happening on both ends, and Cyanide 7 would really neg on what's the other one?
Yeah.
air support, and really, uh, it did cause a little bit of a rift in the server, and I gotta say on both ends, it was it was dirty, it was quick, and it left a big impact, and I really gotta say I didn't like either of them after that for a while.
You know, I couldn't agree more. Now, final question for you. This is more of a variety question. What would you say your favorite in-game Wasteland weapon or item was?
Ooh, I would have to say the Magnum Opus blaster was really quite a good weapon at its peak in 2015, I believe. And man, I mean, what is there to say about the Magnum Opus blaster except that it blasted? I remember going on and just beating the living shit out of people for quite some time with that, and gotta say, it's the best one out there.
That's a hot take, and I'll stand by it. Well, Mr. Daniel, not Daniel James, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate your opinion as our local hedge wizard.
Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, you've been a treat. Here, absolutely. Number 6, we've got Hubin. Hubin is a bit of a controversial one. However, he is the community manager. He ran a bunch of events for the server. He did bomb and airstrike a ton of new players and harass them, but honestly, that's just some cheeky Wasteland admin hijinks. I'll give him a solid A tier, which might be controversial, but I'll stand behind that, actually. Interview time. Interview time. Alright, Houston. Or Hubin.
Yeah.
Are you ready for your Wasteslam admin interview?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone gets 3 questions.
Yeah.
So your first question, Mr. Hubin. As the Wasteslam community manager, what was your favorite Wasteslam community outing / event?
Definitely the little jungle gym y'all put together for the Wastelammers in the temple. That was very entertaining to watch them fight over each other like a spiral of ants, clamoring for the top to impress the queen. That's very nice.
I'd say you have some powerful pheromones as the queen.
Oh.
Now, Hubert, as a Wasteslam admin, this tier list, it goes, just so you know, on a scale of D being the worst to C being like pretty mediocre, B being you did decent, A is good, and S is exceptional. How would you rank yourself on this scale?
I would absolutely rank myself as a D. I have crashed the server on multiple instances, knowingly that it would cause strife in the admin room and shut down the servers for everyone else. I have committed property theft, arson, pretty much every war crime in the book, and I've dropped nuclear weapons from the sky simply because I didn't like them that day. I would absolutely call myself a terrible admin and awful at my job. And whoever promoted me should be fired.
So true. Now, since that's a great way to bridge off our to our next question. Our final question is there any member of the community you'd consider to be the worst sport about your antics?
The worst sport? That's an interesting question because the thing is, the worst sport probably left a really long time ago, and I wouldn't remember them. However, I would absolutely say Wise Ostrich was the biggest baby by far.
Interesting. I don't remember that, but I think you're right.
Like I said, there probably was bigger babies, but Wise Ostrich stands out to me in my mind as someone who just did everything they could to burrow away from me and be a little snarky, little gamer boy.
Interesting.
And that's the one who stands out to me. I mean, obviously there's Zuper, but I think Zuper came around to me eventually.
I agree with that. I think he has a modicum of respect for you, if not more.
Who were you thinking, out of curiosity?
I actually didn't know. I wanted to hear your outtake.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Ostrich. At least from Wasteland. We know who it is for Eisenstadt.
True. Yeah, we do. Any final remarks on your end? That's all the questions I have. These interviews are pretty
cool. My time with Wasteslam was strange, developmental, but I wouldn't take it back for anything. I love that server, and I love managing our little ragtag community.
So true. Well, thank you, Hugh.
No problem.
Actually. Number 16. We have, I don't know what this guy's username was. His name is South Africa Guy, we'll call him, or Cape Town Guy. In Wasteslam World, as I'll call it, I think he was one of the only players to achieve admin status in its short-lived duration, and he literally almost completed the entire city of Cape Town, Africa, in very good detail. Well, it wasn't like a replica of real Cape Town, but it looked very cool. And I'm sorry that Cape Town and that entire server is lost to the ages. You did good job, South Africa Guy. Moving along to number 7 of the now 19 players. We have Kate Cole, 02. She was sought after by 2 admins known as Cyanide7 and Air Support, as, you know, the sole e-girl of the server at the time. It's kind of based, though, because she was older than both of them, so they both just wanted an Onason GF who was an e-girl. But she's a D tier, considering she did kind of destroy the old 2013 server by ripping a massive fucking hole through Arizona that when anyone would get near it, it would crash the server. And if you died or, like, you know, were in that hole at all, you literally couldn't play, or you would crash the server. So I'd give her D tier. She did damage to the server actively. Without knowing, I guess, but she did do damage. Number 2, Buff the Puff. Another guy I know, IRL, he's cool. All he did was commandeer an island for himself, which is standard Wasteland admin stuff. Didn't really do too much else other than that. I'd put him a solid C tier. He gets the degree. Moving right along to number 15, we have the Silver Shard. Silver Shard, again, know him in real life. He built some stuff, I think, yeah, he definitely did. He built some, like, towns and stuff. Mostly kept to himself, but he did build, did contribute a lot, so I'd say B tier, for sure. Number 6, we have, oh fuck, what's this guy's name? This would be, I want to say Beckham. Just give me a second to check my facts. What's this, losers? You're halfway through this whole tier list and the video's ending? Well, don't worry. The tier list will return in its second part momentarily. I just gotta edit and upload it. But don't you worry. These interviews coming up are gonna be crazy. They'll blow your mind. More Minecraft lore? That's exactly what you want to see. Stick around. Catch up. Tune in for the exciting conclusion.